Everyone. Hey, it's Dr. Dwain Woode. That's Wood with an E. The E stands for endocrinology. Here I educate, I empower, and I encourage you to take charge of your health and your life, avoid complications, go to the next level. We are creating the life we've always wanted. And as you see, I'm not in my normal space. That's right. As you heard, we were off schedule, doing a little traveling, and I'm actually on a bus with about 50 or so people traveling for church and doing some things in our community. And so we're going to a youth conference. And so we've got some people uh, that we're traveling with. And the trip was a little delayed. And so I thought I'd be able to, at my time, get on and do this live. But hey, here we are. Anyway, we're taking a stop for lunch, a little past lunch. And I am now 24, a little over 24 hours in this week's fast. And as we talked about, I'm here, so there are cars that are going by. I had to find a spot that didn't have trucks that were making noise, or that I didn't have music from the place that we stopped. So if you are with us, if you've been fasting, go ahead and put yes in the chat, in the comments. Let us know that you are out there, that you are fasting. If you're fasting day one, and this is the end of your first day, congratulations to you. My kudos, hand claps, noisemakers and streamers, all that stuff for you. If you are starting your fast right now and moving into the fast tomorrow, then kudos to you. We can do this. We can do this together. And then, of course, if you're waiting until tomorrow to start the fast, congratulations as well. So once again, we are a little over 24 hours into this week's fast, and really are having a good time. I have not been able to. Uh, I've not been able to get a some video on the bus because it's people have been quiet and sleeping, and we left early this morning to go on our trip, so I've not had the chance to do that. We'll get some video of that, and of course, some video of when we are in and about where we're heading. So thank you for coming through. I do see. Let me see. And right now, I'm at a spot where the hopefully you can see me well because I tried to find a spot where there's not a lot of sun. And anyway, there it is. And I see Cornelia. What's up, Cornelia? Well, Cornelia says that she is fasting with us. Yes. There you go. I love it. Love it. Love it. But like I said, I'm out and about, and one of the important things that I want you to get and want you to know is that your fasting is a part of who you are. Come on. Your fasting has now become a part of who you are. What that means is that you get to decide how the fast goes. And, we talked a bit, and we've been talking about playing your own game. And so usually when I travel, I would either start my fast late or start the fast early. This week we continue doing the fast just like we've been doing, and currently are in our 24-hour period. My wife, as we were getting off, she says, are you gonna eat? Or are you still fasting?" I said, "Well, I'm about to go do a community shout out. So right now I'm still fasting." And so this evening, our show is going to be a recorded show. It's going to be our show that we showed last week. So come on out, support us, support the show. Any new community members that are coming through, that's what you're going to see tonight. And the reason for that is my hope was that I was going to be able to get to do that show live like we normally do. But because we left a little late, that throws our schedule off. So we'll see how that goes. I may still pop in, but you will have a show tonight, and it will be recorded from our last episode of our 33-hour check-in. Same thing for probably the rest of this week. So come on out, support in the community. I just sent a shout out, not the shout out, but I sent the after the show video for our community. Make sure you get over there and watch that. If you've not joined our community yet, this is an amazing time to do that as we are working together um, to be healthy. We are on the cusp, y'all. Cusp. Did I say cusp? at the end of our strength strategy and mindset series that's been going on. And I've been very excited about that. A lot of things that I've learned, not just about working out and my body and how my body responds to different things I do, but also a lot of life lessons that can be extrapolated from that. As a matter of fact, I was sharing something on the bus with some folks that I'm learning, that I have learned, not just learning, that I have learned from the workout. So let's just back up then and let's do some housekeeping things. First of all, welcome. Whatever platform you're joining us from, whether that is on LinkedIn or whether it's on Twitch or, of course, YouTube and then Facebook as well. Welcome, whatever platform you're joining us from. Welcome from whatever area you're joining us from. So you're joining us. We've got folks who watch us from overseas. We've got Korea. We got New Zealand. Of course, here around the United States, we got somebody actually in London that watches. So just drop where you're watching from. We've got, I know, Ohio and Carolinas and Pennsylvania and Nashville and Georgia. And we'll come back to Georgia in just a minute. We've got here in Alabama, of course. We got in California. We've got Nebraska. So lots of folks that I already know where you're joining from, but drop that in the comment. And if you are new to us, go ahead and put where you're joining us from so that we can give a shout out to you. If you've joined us because uh, you saw our content at your church, in your doctor's office, in your community center, any of those places, welcome to you. And a special shout out to the Atlanta Korean Church and the Nashville Riverside Church, because our content, Atlanta actually shows it on their, shows our content on their in church and actually on their website. And then Berea, right now, they have it in their newsletter. If you're out there and you are part of a church, part of a community center, part of a doctor's office, we would love to get our content out to as many people as possible. Because right now there are over how many? 1 billion. That's billion with the B. 1 billion people on the planet at this moment as we're talking who are either pre-diabetic or diabetic, and that's not even including all the people who have heart disease, who have high blood pressure, high cholesterol, who are predisposed to strokes, and all of that. And so, limitless living is about how do we go about installing within ourselves a platform, a set of blueprints, some guardrails, some guidelines, all of those that help us to be healthy long term. And as we've been talking about playing your own game, remember the game that we're playing is not necessarily about that number that we shoot after. The A1C, the weight, the blood pressure, the cholesterol, all of those are supers. Did I say super? All of those are super important. But our ultimate goal is how do we keep you alive as long as possible and how do we keep you as healthy as possible? And that ultimately is the goal. And the other things that happen, the numbers that you get, the benefits that you get coming off medication, all of those are side effects of us living a limitless life. And so as you're thinking through that process, I want you to personalize that. I want you to hear me, right? So that number that you're shooting for, I want you to personalize that number. We'll come back and talk about that here in just a minute. But so welcome to you. When you come to the channel, when you go to our website, DwainWoodeMD.com, you will notice that there's been some changes. We've streamlined how that platform looks so that it makes it very simple for you to be able to jump in, be able to plug in, and begin making strides in the direction of being healthy. Okay? So on the YouTube channel, there are now 2 playlists. One is titled Start Here. And if you're sending someone to the channel, if you're bringing someone to the channel, that's the journey that I want you to jump in and get started. That's a curated list of the videos that we've done that are pivotal in teaching and getting you to understand what we do and how we do things here on the channel. That is that video. There is a PDF, free PDF you can download by going into the description of that playlist, or you can go to DwainWoodeMD.com and you will see there a button that says download free PDF. That helps to walk you through the videos in that playlist, and also helps you to think about a way of processing the videos. There are 4 sections that we talk about in the PDF, And at the end of the PDF, there is a commitment statement that you get to read, you get to sign, you get to acknowledge. And I recommend that you put your name, sign it with your name, put the date, print it out, put it on your wall, put it in a frame, put it on your mirror, put it somewhere where you get to see that I've committed to living a limitless life. Okay? So that would be an awesome thing for you to do. So you can do that in the process by getting that PDF. The second playlist that you will see is titled This Week's Videos. This week's video. Sometimes people have gone away, they've come back, or they come to the channel, they've gone through the playlist, the Start Here playlist, and they're like, okay, what do I do now? And you want to know what's going on this week. What are the topics for this week? What are the shows we've done this week? What are the things Dr. Wood is discussing this week? What's going on in the community this week? And this week's videos will show up in that this week playlist. In fact, this one, when I'm done, is going to show up in that list. So that's the list of things that we're doing this week. And if you've not joined our community on DwainWoodMD.com, if you scroll past the video that I do welcoming you and scroll past the download the free PDF, then you'll see our accelerator program, which is our flagship vehicle for implementing all the things that you now are learning and all the things that you are um, um, putting into your life. And how do we make that a permanent, long-term process as we are moving forward? And remember, long, healthy life. That's the goal. It is not the A1C, it's not the blood sugar, it's not the weight, although those are very important. It is how do we keep you alive as long as possible, and how do we get you to be as healthy as possible? So back to my point. It is easy. It is easy to shoot for a number. It is easy to shoot for a weight goal. It is easy to shoot for the idea of getting off medication, right? Those are things outside of ourselves. Those are metrics. Those are things that people have told us that we need to do. They've told us if you do that, then you'll be healthy. But I want you to personalize this thing. I don't want it to just be a number for you. I want you to think, what happens? What happens in my life if I don't achieve that goal? If I don't get good blood sugars, if I don't lower my A1C, if I don't lose the weight, if I don't improve my fatty liver, what does that feel like? What happens in my life? What happens in my community? What happens in my family if I don't achieve those metrics? Okay, I want you to pause there for a minute, and I want you to feel that emotion. Is it regret? Is it sadness? Is it anxiety? What comes up to you when you think of, man, if I don't achieve this goal, if I don't get there, this is what happens. What does my life look like in 2 years, 5 years, 10 years from now if I don't achieve that goal? I want you to pause there. I want you to sit with that for just a moment. And then now, I want you to think, what happens when I do improve my blood sugar? Yeah. What happens when I do lower my A1C? What happens when I lose weight and my joints are now not hurting as much? What happens now when I can get down on the floor and I can wrestle with my grandkids? What happens when I'm able to go out and I'm able to hang out with the family? So I'm not at the house anymore waiting for the family to come get me to take me to a particular place. Because right now I'm confined, because right now I'm restricted. But what happens when I've improved my health? What happens when I get that metric and I'm now able to do the things I want? Now, I want you to listen to that. I want you to hear that. I want you to hear that voice. I want you to feel that feeling. What is that like? To know that nothing is out of my reach, that by making choices, by making decisions, by being consistent, by installing this process in my life, I am now able to move from that first feeling, the pain, the anxiety, the stress, the doubt, the shame that sometimes comes. And I'm able to move into a direction of being successful, to being joyous, to being in community, to being able to do the things I want, the things I've been saving up for, the things I've been working for, the things I've been driving for, the connection I get to make with my spouse. Now that we've put all this time into the job and we're finally able to now relax and travel. My son, my daughter, now they've had their first child and I get to be around to help them raise that child. I get to be around to infuse some of my family history into that next generation. I get to teach them how to fish, how to knit, how to sew, how to build, how to sail, how to bowl, whatever your thing is, I get to infuse that into the next generation. That's what we're doing. So I want you to stop thinking about the number, and I want you to make this thing personal for you. Because when we connect it to us, when we connect that number to the benefits that we get, when we connect that number to the joy that comes, the pain that we get rid of, the anxiety, the connection that we now make because we are healthy, man, that's it right there. And I can't tell you how much that has moved me in my personal drive to do what I need to do so I could be around for that young man I always talk about. So I could be around for that lady that I married. So that, we're sitting on the bus right now, right next to each other, driving down. He's in the back, of course. And he's at the age where parents aren't that cool, right? So he's got all his guys and his people back there. But we're good. Right? Why? Because we're here. And you heard me say over the last several weeks that we had some things coming up with the family, and I was, when I do my check-in, physical, mental, and emotional, I've said that emotionally, we've got some good things coming up, so I'm excited. This is it. What better thing than to be with my family, enjoying the things that we're working for? Why am I working? Right? Why do I have a job? Because I'm providing for my family so that we can have benefit. What benefit? The benefit that we get to say, hey, I'm taking my son down on the trip so we can get to hang out. And I'm traveling for a long time with my wife right next to me, talking. Right? She sleeps, I sleep, wake up, right? We're talking. That is what we want. That's the goal. And the things that you get, yeah. Listen to this. The benefits that you get, the A1C, the weight, the off of blood pressure medicine, the low cholesterol, they are simply side effects. I always say that. They're simply side effects of you becoming healthy. Those are not the goals. Those are the metrics. And when we begin playing our game, when we understand, when we've made a personal connection, to that number, we're more able to sustain the number. Because we understand what it means if I don't achieve it. We understand what it means when I do achieve it. And that's the beauty of what we do. And so if you're coming across us for the first time, if you are here for the first time, if you've been wondering what's going on, the reason we do what we do is because we want long, healthy life. That's it. And all the things that go along with that. That's why you heard me also say that the Health Action Plan is the functional health arm. The functional health arm of limitless living. Why do I say the functional health arm? Because there are lots of different arms. There are relationship arms. There are mindset arms. There are personal growth arms. But we're living a limitless life. We're not letting anything prevent us from doing what we need to do. Nothing from outside, nothing from inside. I'm showing up with my best self, with my best health, and the best plans for my life. And I'm being healthy, and I'm living a limitless life. So my encouragement to you right now is if you've been dabbling, you're not quite sure about fasting, try it. If you've been fasting and you are at the point where you are a little frustrated, keep fasting, keep coming to the community. If you fasted and you stopped, life got in the way, as we say. This is a great time to jump back in. Why? Because our goal, the benefits that we get, so far outweigh the discomfort of us learning the process. And that's it right there. I tell the story when I first became when I finished my residency, and we moved. My son was about actually 1 week. My son was 1 week old, and we were in the car driving away from my residency because I'm about to start fellowship. And I go to the hospital. I'm getting my ID badges and getting orientation and going to get my computer logins and all that stuff. And my senior fellow, right, she was taking me around, and she had a couple of patients, and she said, "Hey, can you go see that patient for me? And because that way we get finished sooner, and then we can keep going. And my heart rate went up. Yeah, my palms got a little clammy. My brain started racing. Why? It was a patient who was in ICU, was in DKA. And so I was getting ready to go see this patient. Now, I wake up in my sleep now and I'm giving orders, I'm processing, ask me a question about DKA and it rattled off my mouth, off my tongue. What was the issue back then? The issue was it's a new place. It's a new system, new hospital, new ways of doing things. And because it was new, it caused some anxiety. Now we see anxiety sometimes, or we feel that heart racing and calm and all that. We feel it as though it means that there's danger. Do you know that anticipation and anxiety feel the same? The same things happen in our body. The same things are going on. Same things are there. But we sometimes mistake it for, hey, I need to stop. And as you're going through this process, as you're going through the fasting process, as you are doing things now for health, as you're making choices to be healthy, that doesn't mean that you stop. That means that you dig in. That means you say, how do I figure this out? Because limitless living says, I'm not going to allow my lack of knowledge. I'm not going to allow my lack of understanding to cause me to give up on this goal. Because the goal is how do I keep myself alive as long as possible, and how do I stay healthy as possible? And I love that. All right, let's see. We got some folks in here. Let's see. Uh, so some folks came through. Let's see. So Cornelia said she was fasting. Then she say safe travels. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate that, Cornelia. And Teresa says, hey, what's up, Teresa? What's going on, girl? Glad that you came through. Oh, put that back up. Glad that you are here in the space. Cornelia saying hi to Teresa. I love it, love it, love it. Cornelia says that background looks good. Yeah, so I was walking around. I'm trying to find because I got off. I was on the bus. I was gonna say I was gonna do it from the bus, but of course people are walking around me. I didn't want them in the video, and then I came off, and then I heard all this truck. These trucks are we're at one of these big truck stops. Um, I'm not gonna call the name of the place. You probably know it. And so I heard all these trucks. I said I can't go there, and then I went up front, and the sun is coming down. I said okay, let me find a good spot. And then I came back here. Look at that. I mean, isn't that beautiful? You're right, Cornelia. That is great. Amazing. My wife loves to travel. She loves to see scenery and take pictures. And so this is just amazing for her and for me as well. All right. Cornelia says, enjoy family trip. Thank you lots for the pop up and the recast tonight. That's right. Yeah. So if you're coming on right now, so we are off schedule. My anticipation was that we were going to get to our destination. I would be able to do my live tonight. It looks like that's not going to happen. So we will have a recast of our show from last week. 33 hour check in. Also, we'll likely have a recast of this show for 56 hours, and then we'll see what we'll do with um, the complete review of fasting. Now, those are shows that are there, so I want you to come through, right? Just because it's a recast, don't stay away. Come on, enjoy the community, enjoy what's going on, and then go from there. Okay. And Bowie says, "Hey, what's up, Bowie? I just gave a shout out to you from up there in near where I am actually. And let's see what else. Cornelia says, "Hey, Bowie," and I think I missed a message from you. Bowie says, "Looks like a beautiful day." Oh yeah, it is very nice where we are. So um, we're gonna enjoy it. Like I said, we're expecting about 3 to 4 thousand people where we're heading. So it's gonna be good. And then of course, Bowie says hi to Cornelia. Awesome. So Um, so once again, I want you to personalize. We're playing our own game, and if we're playing our own game, it has to be personalized for us. The things that you're seeing, the things that you're doing, I want you to personalize those. We are close to the end. We're actually just right on the cusp of the end of our strength, strategy, and mindset series. Um, Today is day number 98. You got 99, and then we got 100 that's coming up. Oh, man. Right? So if you've not walked along with us, there are now in that series, including the 100-day walk to consistency, there are now 200 plus episodes. So you can start. So the goal, here's the goal. The goal is that you can start at any time in that series, and you will have 365 episodes that walk you through our MOVE campaign, metabolic optimization key exercise. You can start at any time. And so talking about the strength, strategy, and mindset, right? So that's the goal. But in addition to that, you can pick any particular week, wherever you start, and you will walk through our fasting check-ins, our fasting pop-ups, the things that we're learning. So remember, this is not just stuff that we're doing so it goes up on the shelf or it goes in your archive. This is stuff that we're doing so that you get to install it into your life. How do we make this stick? How do we uh, present this as who I am now? It's not just a fluke. It's not just by happenstance. It's not just I got lucky. It is that I am, by my decisions, by my actions, by my consistency, I am making a decision to right my metabolic shift. And so that's where I want you to be. I'm so excited that you are here. So excited that I'm here. So excited I get to walk with you. So if you're fasting, once again, go ahead and put yes in the comments. Yes in the comments. You're fasting at all this week, whether it's day 1, day 2, day 3, whether you're doing the complete fast, whether you are doing a 16 and 8, whatever fasting you're doing, go ahead and drop yes into the chat so that we know that. And then show up tonight, show up tomorrow, show up on Friday for our show. Like I said, they're going to be recasts of our shows from last week. We're out of off schedule here as we are traveling with the family and enjoying some family time, some connection time. And so even though my son he made us sit in front of the bus and he's back there, that's okay. But we're here. We're here as a family. We are enjoying. Oh, connection, 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 connection. When I started residency, when I started medical school, when I got into uh, did my fellowship and got into endocrinology, when we started our practice, the goal was that we are pouring into the family. We're pouring into our future. That guy that's sitting back there, that's the future. That's my future. And my goal is to be around with him as long as possible, be as healthy as possible, so that when he thinks he can still beat me in basketball, he may have better younger skills, but I've got wisdom, right? So when he's jumping and carrying on, I'm not jumping. I'm just coming down low, right? And then I'm coming and then backing up and I'm taking my shot. He wants me to come all in there. No, 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 no. That's your game down there. I can shoot from back here. I don't need to come up there, right? But pouring into that young man has been tremendous. And it is one of the connection points for me. Watching my wife sitting next to me right now as we're traveling, oh man. All the stuff, all the times that I went through in terms of my job and my career and the decisions we had to make, I'm like, okay, this is it. And so now it behooves me. It makes absolute perfect sense now for me to say, I gotta protect this. This is what I'm doing. And so I encourage you, make it personal. Play your own game because when you do that, you are living a limitless life. So this is Dr. Dwain Woode. I'm excited that I'm here with you. Glad to be here in this community. And we're living that limitless life because it says that we're not allowing anything to prevent us from doing what we need to do. We're not allowing anything from outside, nothing from inside to prevent us from doing what we need to do. We're showing up with our best self, our best health, and the best plans for our lives. And we are committed, y'all, to playing our own game. Because when we do that, that is what success looks like. That is what joy looks like. When we play our own game, we're able to be sustained. The things that we do, we can sustain them because we got a good why. Our why is strong enough to push us through. Well, thank you for coming through. Once again, Dr. Dwain Woode, Wood with an E. The E stands for endocrinology. Here I educate, I empower, and I encourage you to take charge of your health and your life. Avoid complications, go to the next level. We're creating the life we've always wanted, and we are living limitless lives. Now go live a limitless life, and we'll see you tonight for our check-in and as we move through the rest of the week. Have a great one.